Welcome back to the Amateur Sports Podcast. Once again, I have Deshaun in the house for today's episode. We are going to be debating who should be the MIP in the NBA. If the season were to end today, who would we pick? Who we think it's going to be by the end of the season? And me and Deshaun have very conflicting opinions on this one. So I'm going to let Deshaun get started.
I don't really think there's a debate for the MIP. I just think your opinion's flat out wrong. I'm gonna go out there and say that.
Well, what's your opinion?
I think Brandon Ingram is no doubt most improved player this year. MIP is not really just about like who's made the biggest jump, but who's made the biggest impact. And he's gone from a very promising role player to now an all-star slash superstar. He's obviously made his first all-star game. He's averaging 25 points per game. He's shooting like 50, 40, like 85 right now. So like he's actually like wet as well. And he's taking contested threes. He's shooting a lot of threes. And he's like him going forward on that team he's going to be an amazing player and he's going to continue to grow. I also, just because Canadian just got to shout him out, I also think Shy has elevated himself above who you're about to list. So you can go ahead and go ahead. Yeah, really.
2 weeks ago, I was pretty firmly on the stance that Devontae Graham was MIP. I'm kind of more getting to the point where I can see either Brandon Ingram or Devontae Graham winning it, but the arguments to support Devontae Graham a little bit are that he's improved in a lot of regards. He's improved his field goal percentage. He's heavily improved his three-point percentage. He's gone from 4.7 points a game to 18 points per game. He's getting 7.7 assists compared to 2.6. He's getting 3.5 rebounds compared to 1.4 rebounds, and obviously a lot of that has to do with extra minutes. So that's part of it. But Brandon Ingram, I've obviously been very impressed with him as well. The things for me are that the jumps aren't quite as significant, and the field goal percentage has gone down from last season. And obviously that's because he's got to shoot a lot more, and he's still wet from three. I just think from what I'm seeing right now, I'm a little bit more in the middle than I was a couple weeks ago because Devontae Graham has fallen off quite a bit. And I think by the end of the season, especially that since Brandon Ingram is an all-star, that will factor in. But, if you're looking at the jumps, Devontae Graham has improved more than Brandon Ingram has.
Okay. When it comes to Graham, and I was impressed early in the season because he was actually putting up very good numbers and a very good jump while being efficient. But when you put up more numbers and your efficiency, like, it's just not there. Like, league average, it's not there. He's below league average in efficiency. So, like,
But the
it's
thing is
not,
that
it's,
that's
it's,
not part of it. It's a player that's improved the most. It's a player who's shown the most progress and improving over that season.
no, because point totals aren't the only thing that goes into most improved. It's also team impact, and there hasn't been that, and he hasn't elevated himself. Like, he just wasn't playing enough. You know what I mean? Like, he just wasn't playing. Like, that was it. It's just, there wasn't enough playing time, and there weren't enough shots for him, and now he's taking these shots, and he's being inefficient with it. I mean, with the amount of shots he was taking, if he shot 5 percentage points better, then we'd be talking about him for most improved because he'd be averaging 26 points per game, right? But, like, it's just he hasn't gotten to a point where I'm like, wow, like, this guy 100%, like, every night he's dominating. He's getting pretty empty stats on a bad team. And
I think part of it is that the Hornets have fallen like off the face of the earth in the last couple weeks after starting like pretty positively, kind of looking maybe they could sneak into an 8 seed, but they've been awful recently, and Devontae Graham as well has taken a bit of a hit. So I think by the end of the season, Brandon Ingram will be in the lead for me in terms of most improved. The opinion stemmed from, well, Brandon Ingram was good last season. He's just so much better this season. But Devontae Graham was awful last year, and
He
he's
just didn't
improved
play.
so much.
He
He's
just didn't
improved so much.
play.
Yeah, part of this is again another. Part of Brandon Ingram's case is that he's getting the same amount of minutes. He's just making himself so much better. And obviously, Devontae Graham has done that to a degree, but it's also that he's getting 20 extra minutes a game compared to last season, whereas Brandon Ingram is playing the exact same amount of minutes this season as he was last season. So again, that's part of it, but it's just the jump in points per game, in rebounds per game, and assists per game that's so kind of enlightening to me for Devontae Graham, because it's such a big jump. That's why I'm kind of making the case for him as well, because it's not really it's a personal award for how much you've gotten better over that season compared to last season.
He's playing 20 minutes more per game. He's playing 20 minutes more per game.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But his shooting efficiency has gone up tremendously from 3-point percentage. It's gone from 28 to 38. And his field goal percentage has gone from 34 to 37.5. Mind you, that's not great, but it's an improvement. Brandon Ingram has gone down in his shooting efficiency as well.
No, he hasn't. Where are you getting this information from? Brandon Ingram's shooting like 47, 48, 49% this year.
Brandon Ingram shot from the field 50% last year. This year, he's shooting 47%.
So that's your knock on him? Graham is shooting 37% from the field.
Obviously, Brandon Ingram is a much better player than Devontae Graham. Everybody would rather have Brandon Ingram.
That's not my point. My point is you're knocking a guy for shooting 3% lower while improving his 3-point percentage, mind you, because he's taking a lot more threes.
But you were making the case that that Brandon Ingram is actually improving, whereas Graham is just playing more minutes. They're both improving. They're both improving. But you're saying that it's just because Graham's playing more minutes. But
it is just because
he's so much better.
No, it's just because he's playing more minutes. His shooting percentage is worse than last year, and it's worse than league average, which just means
his shooting percentage worse than last year? It's better than last year. That's a fact. His field goal percentage is better than last year, and his 3-point percentage is way better than last year.
That's crazy. I don't even think Devontae Graham will be considered for MIP.
Right now, the odds have Brandon Ingram 1 and Devontae Graham at 2.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's not.
That's an irrefutable fact. He's shooting better than last season.
No,
It's percentages. It's not about volume. It's percentages.
It is no. It is about volume, man. He's taking a lot more shots. He's playing 20 more minutes. I hope I get a larger output from you, and he's not doing it efficiently. Like I don't know what to say. That's it. Like Charlotte's Charlotte, man. Oh. I don't know.
The stats are improving in every regard. The stats are getting better.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. The stats are getting better. But he is not doing it efficiently. No one is talking about him as any type of special player. He's just a guy. No, but
they don't need to. The award is not.
He's just a guy
who's shooting the ball
more. He's just a guy who gets to shoot the ball a lot more. That's it.
Well, Brandon Ingram's shooting the ball more than last year as well.
Let me. Fred VanVleet last year averaged 9-10 points per game. He's averaging like 18-19 points per game this year. You know why that is?
More touches?
Because there's more touches and he's starting and he can shoot the ball more. So yeah, if you go from the bench to starting, you're going to shoot the ball more. The difference is Graham is not shooting it efficiently because he's shooting 37%. Whereas the players who win MIP are usually doing it because they're extremely efficient, or they've done something where, they've elevated their game to a different height. There's no one who's going to win MIP who's going to shoot sub 40% from the field. It's just not going to happen. He's not really, he's not going to be considered. No one's going to look at him and be like, wow, this guy's definitely most improved because he's putting up this much more points. Who cares about his shooting percentages? He's playing at this much more points. When
But
you
his three
have
percentages are better than last
when
season.
you
This is the
have
point I'm continuing to make. I'm not saying they're good numbers.
they're
But
not, but
his 3-point percentage is
his
very
shooting
good.
percentage is not good regardless. It's not good regardless.
The 3-point percentage is very good.
Okay, wonderful. It's not his field goal percentage is not good regardless. So I'm glad he went from bad to better bad, but it's not good. That's
And look, I'm not here saying that he's better than Brandon Ingram.
I'm not saying he is either, but I'm saying his
But
improvement
the award is based on the award is the definition of the award is the player who has showed the most progress over the season. And Brandon and in comparison, Devontae Graham was within a shout for have shown more progress this season compared to last season, even though Brandon Ingram has been so much better than him and he's an all-star. The progress made by Devontae Graham is greater than the progress made by Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, you're wrong. I don't even want to, like, I'm not even trying to yell or anything like that, but yeah, you're wrong, man. Like, he's not going to be, like, I really think that there are better sophomore players that have elevated their game on better teams. Shout out Shay. But like I don't really see, like, I don't see that as a plausible scenario, really. Like, I don't.
Look, I can see either or, and I'd be pretty content if either of them won it. But I'm not counting out Devontae Graham's case for not making his case.
He is not going to win Most Improved Player. If he wins Most Improved Player, I'll literally tat his name on my face. Like, he is not going to win it.
You know what? I don't think he will either. But I'm here making the case for him.
You're making a case for a player that you don't even think will win.
Look, who wins? Who wins and who deserves to win?
Pascal Siakam last year deserved to win because he was the most improved player, and he won.
The player who deserves to win does not always get that. If you look at the 2015 NBA Finals when Iguodala won Finals MVP, was it that year? 2015.
Yeah.
Did Iguodala deserve it? No. But did people think he was going to get it? Yes. Who deserves it? LeBron James deserved it. He was so much better than everybody else that even besides the fact that the Cavaliers lost, he should have been the second player in NBA history to have gotten the NBA Finals award on the losing side.
I agree, but you're bringing up basically an irrelevant argument. It's not from a most improved player discussion. Most improved players usually will increase significantly, okay, to where they are above or at league standard. He's shooting below league average in field goal percentage. So I don't care how many shots or whatever it is. He's playing 20 more minutes and he's shooting below average by league standard. How is that a most improved player? You literally went from...
Because okay, well, even if it's... His efficiency has improved. Brandon Ingram's efficiency is better, but it has regressed. So that's certainly part of the discussion.
No,
you can't just omit that information from the discussion.
It's not part of the discussion. Absolutely not part of the discussion at all. Like, I think you're wrong here. Like, I think you're really, really wrong. For even bringing up his name in this discussion. Like, man, like, he is not the second most improved player in the league. It's just that's not the. Like, no. Oh, no. No. Like, no. Nah. Like, I like him, and I saw him. He was hooping at the beginning of the year, and, he's keeping Charlotte in it. But, man, as they kept losing, he just kept getting more inefficient. And, like, young players, yeah, they're going to be inefficient. I get that. But he's below the league, like, the league average, bro. The league average, he's below it. How are you improving if you can't you can't improve beyond the league average in field goal percentage?
What about his 3-point percentage? It's formidable, 38%, considering the amount of shots he's taking.
Okay.
The improvements are there. Like, there's definitely
Brandon Ingram shooting 40% from three.
That's a great improvement as well.
His jump is actually bigger than Devontae Graham's from three, is it not? What did Devontae Graham shoot last year?
It's not.
In his 10 minutes of playing time?
28.
His 10 minutes of playing time.
28% compared to 38%. Brandon Ingram's gone from 33 to 40%. That's not a bigger jump.
Oh, boy.
I don't think either of us are going to be convinced in this
I
one.
think you're so wrong. I can't.
I wouldn't be opposed to either of these guys winning it, but I think Devontae Graham certainly has a case for this award.
I can't believe this is an actual argument. I think that this is like, oh my goodness.
Okay, well, I'm ending this. I don't think we're making it anywhere further than this. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you're still here, comment on the YouTube video or let us know on Twitter, Instagram, at AmateurPDC, who you think should be MIP. You can call me an idiot if you want. You can call Deshaun an idiot if you want. We're kind of used to it at this point. You follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts as well. And as usual, at the Amateur Hour Sports Podcast, we post every single day. So keep coming back for the daily content. See you tomorrow.